In the next 30 minutes, I'll be working my way through almost 100 questions about the Veronicas, the film Tombstone, the novel Anne of Avonlea, and Adam Sandler. Are you ready? Are you set? I'm Mark Fennell. Let's go. This is Mastermind. There. Welcome to Mastermind, home of the most famous leather and chrome chair in the nation. It's the centrepiece of our set. It's the place where 4 quiz contenders will soon settle their rumps. So let's meet those contenders. First up is product manager Dean Bramich, who loves the 1993 film Tombstone. If Dean falls short tonight, perhaps his own metaphorical tombstone would read, "Should have studied harder." Next is kids party entertainer Sammy Grawl, answering questions on the pop duo The Veronicas. Now, Sammy's partner is Canberra public servant Tim Adams with the novel Anne of Avonlea. And finally, psychologist Kira Allen is a huge fan of Adam Sandler films. And one wonders, what does she really feel about that, though? They have 2 minutes on their specialist subject, then 90 seconds of general knowledge questions. Now, that may not seem like very long, but when you're in that mastermind chair, it's an excruciating eternity. So let's put them through that pain, shall we? Let's go. Will the first contender join me, please? Your name?
Dean Bramich.
Occupation?
Product manager.
And your specialist subject?
The movie Tombstone.
So what happens in Tombstone?
It's a Western. It's about Wyatt Earp and the gunfight at the OK Corral and then what happens afterwards.
So I understand you've picked this particular film because it's kind of personal to you.
Yes. So I was supposed to be on the previous season of Mastermind and my father passed away the week I was due to come here and film. So when the producers rang me and said I could come on this season, I decided to pick a movie that was a favourite of me and my dad.
Dean, are you ready?
Say when.
Your time starts now. Released in 1993, Tombstone is a Western film depicting the attempted retirement and settling down of which legendary lawman?
Wyatt Earp.
Correct. Providing a historical context for the arrival of the Earps in Tombstone, the film's opening narration specifically refers to what year?
1879.
Correct. A member of the travelling theatre troupe that visits Tombstone, Mr. Fabian performs a speech from which Shakespeare play?
Henry V.
Correct. Who plays Wyatt Earp in the film and reportedly assisted replacement director George P. Cosmatos by composing shot lists ahead of filming days?
Kurt Russell.
Correct. Playing a character suffering fatal tuberculosis, Val Kilmer was nominated in the MTV Movie Awards for Best Male Performance and what other category?
Most Desirable Male.
Correct. Members of the outlaw gang run by Curly Bill Brocious are recognisable by the sashes they wear, which are what colour?
Red.
Correct. After rejecting a disagreeable card dealer, Wyatt tells his brothers they have acquired what proportion of the takings of the game at the Oriental?
25%.
Correct. The actors who play both Wyatt's partner, Maddie, and his love interest, Josephine, share what first name?
Dana.
Correct. What phrase uttered by Doc Holliday before his duel with Johnny Ringo became the title of Val Kilmer's autobiography?
I'm your Huckleberry.
Correct. The film accurately depicts a famous gunfight that took place in an empty lot near which horse enclosure?
The OK Corral.
Correct. The film features a number of movie legends in small roles, including Charlton Heston as Henry Hooker and which actor as the narrator?
Robert Mitchum.
Correct. Most of the film was shot on location in Arizona, but the Tombstone of Lester Moore was filmed at which amusement park in Buena Park, California?
Universal Studios.
Knott's Berry Farm. Doc Holliday refers to Johnny Ringo as an educated man after they conduct a brief conversation in what non-English language?
Latin.
Correct. What is the first name of Earp's friend, the Southern gentleman and gambler known as Doc Holliday?
John.
Correct. After he saves a boy from being trampled by horses, which Earp brother wears a badge and nails up the ordinance banning deadly weapons inside city limits?
Virgil.
Correct. You got 14 points. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
How do you think Dad would feel?
I think he'd be pretty proud.
I think so too. Well done. Head on back to your chair. Time for our second contender. Your name,
Sammy Grawl,
occupation,
kids party entertainer.
and your specialist subject.
The life and works of the Veronicas.
Why?
Well, when I was 5 years old, I turned on the TV and I saw these twins singing the song Forever. And these twins were magical. They were tearing apart the sky and I was like, wow, I want to see more of that.
Have you ever seen them perform live?
Just 2 years ago, I got to go to their meet and greet and Jessica said she liked my eyeshadow.
Oh, it's lovely. You ready?
Let's do it.
Your time starts now. What movie starring Winona Ryder and Christian Slater was the inspiration for Lisa and Jess Aureliaso to name themselves the Veronicas?
Heathers.
Correct. The three Veronicas singles that have gone to #1 on the Australian charts are Hook Me Up, In My Blood, and which other?
Secret Life of?
You Ruin Me. After delays in the release of a third studio album, the Veronicas split from which major record company in October 2013?
Warner Brothers.
Correct. Which single from the Human album has a chorus that begins, I really want to say this, I don't want to lose this thing that we've got?
Pass.
In a 2015 interview on the official charts website, Lisa described the song Godzilla as Muse meets the Spice Girls meets what?
Pass.
The music video for which song features boys in school uniform marching by a sign that says no girls past this point?
Hook Me Up.
Correct. In 2016, the Veronicas filled in as judges on the Australian version of what reality TV show?
Celebrity Apprentice.
The Voice. Prior to releasing the album The Secret Life of, the Veronicas performed Forever at which major 2005 sporting event?
Pass.
What is the title of the 17-track live album released by the Veronicas before returning to the studio in 2010?
Take Me on the Floor.
Revenge is Sweeter Tour. According to the song Popular, boys and girls pretend to know me. They try so hard and I get what I want. My name is my what?
ID.
Credit card. With a running time of 4 minutes and 3 seconds, what is the last and longest track on the Godzilla album?
Kaleidoscope.
Sugar Daddy. Born 30 years apart, Annie Lennox from Eurythmics and the Veronicas twins share what holiday and annual religious festival as their birthday?
Christmas.
Correct. Which song's video begins with a graphic of the Jimi Hendrix quote, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace?
If You Love Someone.
Correct. So you had 3 passes there. The big live event they performed at in 2005 was the NRL Grand Final. The track I needed from Human was Biting My Tongue. And I love this quote. The 2015 interview they gave, they said, Godzilla was like Muse meets the Spice Girls meets J-pop. You got 5 points that round and there's a whole nother round to go. But in the meantime, head on back to your chair. And that means it is now time for our next contender. Your name,
Tim Adams,
occupation,
public servant.
and your specialist subject.
The book Anne of Avonlea.
What is it?
Anne of Avonlea is the second book in the series, the Anne of Green Gables books.
Ah.
Yeah.
So when did you first start reading them?
When I was a little kid and my parents divorced, I coped by sort of retreating into my own little world. And all of a sudden I found these books about a girl who retreated into her own little world and I felt a connection.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tim, your time starts now. The sequel to Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea by L.M. Montgomery, again follows Anne Shirley in her life on which Canadian island?
Prince Edward Island.
Correct. Flowers are symbolically significant throughout the book, including the choice of name for which character who marries Stephen Irving?
Lavender.
Correct. On her first day of teaching at Avonlea School, Anne has to confiscate what pair of creatures from Morley Andrews?
Crickets.
Correct. In the early days of their acquaintance, both Anne's new neighbour, Mr. Harrison, and his parrot, Ginger, refer to Anne as a red-headed what?
Snippet.
Correct. While she is stuck in the roof of the Kopp family duck house, Anne writes a poem which Diana says she should send to what publication?
Canadian Women.
Canadian Woman. Becoming its secretary, Anne proposes to form AVIS, which stands for the Avonlea Village what?
Improvement Society.
Correct. Anne admires the books of Mrs. Charlotte E. Morgan, who is the author of Edgewood Days and the Rosebud what?
Pass, sorry.
Anne and Diana develop a strong friendship with Miss Lavender Lewis, whose isolated stone cottage has what name?
Echo Lodge.
Correct. What is the family name of Miss Lewis's maid, Charlotta IV, who is the fourth and last sister to serve Miss Lewis in that role?
Benson?
Bowman. Although she celebrates it later in the year, Anne's 17th birthday occurs in which month?
October.
March. Anne's careful dinner preparations in honour of Miss Charlotte Morgan take a disastrous turn when Davy falls into what dessert?
The lemon pie.
Correct. Marilla's beloved apple trees, which are stripped of blossom by the severe storm that hits the island, are of what variety?
Golden Delicious.
Yellow Duchess. After the death of her husband, which Avonlea resident moves in with Marilla to help care for the twins and allow Anne to go to college?
Rachel Lynn.
Correct. Later regretting her actions, Anne loses her temper when a mouse is placed in her desk and uses corporal punishment on which child?
Anthony Pye.
Correct. So you had one pass there. Mrs. Charlotte E. Morgan is the author of both Edgewood Days and The Rosebud Garden. Tell you what, you still got 9 points. Well done. Head back to your chair. We'll see you soon. After the break, Kira will be quizzed on her love of Adam Sandler films. If she goes well, Gilmore won't be the only one who's happy. Kira will also be happy. I'll also be happy. I want people to succeed. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Hello there. Welcome back to Mastermind. We are almost at the end of the special subject round, which means it's now time for our final contender. Your name,
Kira Allen,
occupation,
psychologist,
and your specialist subject.
1990s Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, it was a glorious time, wasn't it?
It was.
Do you have a favourite?
Probably Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite quote?
In The Waterboy, he's talking with his mum, and the coach asks, "What part of the snake are we eating?" And she said, "Snakes don't have parts, but we'd be eating the knee."
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your time starts now. Before becoming a popular golfer with an unconventional but powerful drive, Happy Gilmore dreamed of being a professional player in which sport?
Hockey.
Correct. Both Happy Gilmore and Big Daddy were directed by Dennis Dugan. But who directed The Waterboy, appearing in a cameo as Bobby's father in the film?
Frank Karachi.
Correct. In The Waterboy, Coach Klein reveals to Bobby that he rebelled against his own mother by getting a tattoo of which singer on his butt cheek?
Gone blank. I can see his face. Kathy Bates.
Roy Orbison. In Big Daddy, Sandler plays Sonny, a directionless man who finds himself suddenly responsible for a young boy called Julian who says he is how old?
5.
Correct. A scene featuring a cameo performance from The Price is Right host Bob Barker earned Happy Gilmore an MTV Movie Award win in which category?
Best fight.
Correct. Happy's former boss, Mr. Larson, is played by which 7-foot 2-inch actor famous for playing a Bond villain with a killer bite?
Christopher McDonald.
Richard Keel. What 2 words are written on the neon sign Sonny sets up as a nightlight for Julian on his first night sleeping at Sonny's place?
Live nudes.
Correct. After years as a diligent but bullied waterboy, Adam Sandler's character Bobby Boucher gets to play football in a team with what nickname?
The Waterboy.
The Mud Dogs.
Oh.
What kind of animal is Julian dressed up as for Halloween when he and Sonny go trick-or-treating?
I thought he was a pumpkin.
Kangaroo.
Oh.
Which Golden Globe winning actor plays the homeless guy in Big Daddy who asks for a sausage McMuffin from Julian and Sonny?
Steve Buscemi.
Correct. When Virginia finally agrees to go on a date with Happy, he takes her to an ice rink where which Diana Ross and Lionel Richie duet plays as they skate?
Endless Love.
Correct. Appearing on the TV behind Julian, what is the name of the referee in the Tampa Bay Lightning and New York Rangers hockey game Sonny wants to watch?
Steve Franks.
Got part of it right. Steve Walkham. You just picked up 7 points. Hey, back to your chair. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And that is the specialist subject round done and dusted. Let's have a look at the scores. Right now in 4th place on 5 points is Sammy. In 3rd place on 7 points is Kira. In 2nd place on 9 points is Tim. And currently leading the pack on 14 points is Dean. But what will happen as we enter the general knowledge round? There are 90 seconds on the clock. At the end of this round, if we have a tie, the contender who has the fewest number of passes will win. Sammy, please meet me in the chair. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Your time starts now. The multi-award-winning drama Wentworth, starring Kate Atkinson and Pamela Rabe, is based on which classic Australian TV series?
Round the twist.
Prisoner. A popular nickname for English Premier League side Manchester United is the what colour Devils?
Red.
Correct. The musical acts Ace of Base, The Cardigans and Eagle Eye Cherry are all from which Scandinavian country?
Bulgaria.
Sweden. Which former Prime Minister of Australia became fluent in Mandarin while completing a degree in Asian Studies at the ANU?
Kevin Rudd.
Correct. In the human body during puberty, the fusion of the bones called the ilium, ischium and the pubis consolidates which major bone?
Pelvis.
Hip. Banjo Patterson tells the sorry tale of two over-enthusiastic horseback teams in his classic poem, The Geebung What Club?
Bird.
Polo. New Zealand's highest mountain is known by the Maori name Aoraki as well as what English name?
Foot.
Mount Cook. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are two of the key figures who helped shape an independent America commonly called the founding what?
Fathers.
Correct. Which powdered cleaning product launched by Colgate-Palmolive in the 1940s is named after a legendary Greek hero known for his strength?
Baby powder.
Ajax. You just picked up 3 points, taking you up to a total of 8. Head on back to your chair. Up next in the chair is Kira. Kira, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your time starts now. The ring-tailed lemur, the indri and the ai are all animals native to which island nation?
Indonesia.
Madagascar. SNES was the official brand abbreviation of a 16-bit gaming console from the 1990s, commonly known as Super what?
Nintendo.
Correct. In the acclaimed film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, the bickering couple are played by then husband and wife Richard Burton and which other actor?
Julie Moore.
Elizabeth Taylor. Reconstruction work began in 2021 on which French cathedral whose roof was badly damaged by fire in 2019?
Notre Dame.
Correct. Challenging stereotypes about Aboriginal people, Am I Black Enough for You is the award-winning memoir of Wiradjuri author Anita who?
Jones.
Heiss. Responsible for passing all its laws and located in Jerusalem, the Knesset is the one-chamber parliament of which country?
Italy.
Israel. The 2022 #1 hit song About Damn Time is by which American singer and rapper known by a one-word name?
Lizzo.
Correct. Which of the 7 positions on a netball team is abbreviated on the player's bib to the letters GA?
Goal attack.
Correct. The first car mass-produced in Australia, the Holden 48215, better known as the FX, was first launched in what decade?
60s.
Hop in the time machine and go back 20 years. It was the 1940s. You got 4 points, bringing you up to 11. Head on back to your chair for me.
Thank you.
Mastermind is back after the break with Tim and Dean. More general knowledge rounds right after this. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Mastermind, the jewel in the crown of chair-based quiz show entertainment on SBS. Not a lot of competition there. Anyway, Tim's up in the chair next. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your time starts now. In Albert Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared, first published in 1905, what does M stand for?
Mass.
Correct. Known for his popular sketches on social media, comedian Jimmy Rees gained fame as an ABC children's television host under the name Jimmy Who?
Giggle.
Correct. Equaling Australia's hottest day on record when it reached 50.7 degrees in 2022, the town of Onslow is in which state?
South Australia.
Western Australia. Which creamy potato and leek soup, usually served cold, includes a French city at the start of its name?
Nice.
Vichyssoise. Which American businessman married multimedia product developer Melinda Ann French on New Year's Day in 1994?
Donald Trump.
Bill Gates. Sheets of paper measuring 210 by 297 millimetres are marketed as what alphanumeric size?
A4.
Correct. About which legendary Australian horse trainer did his son say, "He may have taught me everything I know, but not everything he knows"?
Waterhouse.
Bart Cummings. Up to 2022, how many of Britain's female prime ministers have been leaders of the Labor Party?
None.
Correct. Born Charlton Howard, which rapper became the highest ranking Indigenous artist in Triple J's Hottest 100?
No idea.
DNA testing has confirmed the existence in nature of nanolax, or pizzly bears, rare hybrids of the grizzly and what other ursine animal?
Pig.
Polar bears. You got 4 points there, but that one pass, Charlton Howard, it's the Kid Leroy. You got 13 points. Head on back to your chair for me.
Thanks, Mark.
And finally, Dean. So, Dean, you've seen all the other contenders go through this round. I want you to pick a target for how many of these you're going to get right.
8.
8. I love it. Dean, you have 90 seconds of general knowledge questions. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Your time starts now. After 5 nominations, including for his performance as Fonzie in Happy Days, who won his first Emmy in 2018 for the series Barry?
Henry Winkler.
Correct. With an area of more than 70 million square kilometres and situated off Australia's west coast, what is Earth's third largest ocean?
The Indian.
Correct. Elizabeth Blackburn became Australia's first female Nobel laureate in 2009 when she was awarded the Nobel Prize in which category?
Literature.
Physiology or medicine. Chart-topping American band The Jonas Brothers is a trio of siblings named Nick, Kevin and who?
John.
Joe. In the mathematical construct Pascal's triangle, what number is alone in the top row and at the beginning and end of each subsequent row?
0.
1. Which team, captained by former Adelaide Crows champion Erin Phillips, entered the AFLW in 2022?
Greater Western Sydney.
Port Adelaide. A vast area mostly occupied by shifting sand dunes, the Taklamakan Desert is on which continent?
Africa.
Asia. A key to deciphering ancient languages, the Rosetta Stone, features the same decree written in how many different scripts?
4.
3. The federal electorate of Hughes is named after a long-serving MP and former Prime Minister who had what first name?
Billy.
Correct. So we didn't hit the 8, but you did hit 3, taking you up to 17, which is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
You should be. Head back to your chair. And that is a wrap on the general knowledge round. Here are our final scores. In 4th place on 8 points is Sammy. In 3rd place with 11 points is Kira. In 2nd place with 13 points is Tim. And in 1st place with 17 points is Dean. We will see you in our weekly final day. Congratulations again. And that is Mastermind for tonight. Now, if there's a tiny voice in your head right now and it's whispering, you should go on Mastermind, then you should follow that voice. All you need to do is apply at sbs.com.au/mastermind. I'm Mark Fennell, not just a weird voice in your head. I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.